everybody, how's it going? It's a Daily Shooter, and this is going to be a video that I've wanted to make for a long time about self-defense. You know, I've always been really impressed with pro-gun people, the way that they think. If you ask a pro-gun person a question, they'll mill over that question, they'll give you their logical response based on the information that you gave them. Whereas an anti-gun person seems to dictate everything with emotion. So you ask them the exact same question, all logic goes out the window, they give you their emotional response. So if you ask a pro-gun person, hey, what do you think about that school shooting and how can we fix it? Well, the pro-gun person is probably going to say something like, you know, what we need to do is we need to get an armed guard out front, we need to have a presence of deterrence so that somebody's not going to come back and try the same thing over again. They thought about the question, they milled it over, they give you a logical response based on that information. Where an anti-gun person, you say, hey, what do you think about the school shooting? First thing that goes through their mind is emotion, anger, and sadness, and everything else that hits their brain immediately, and no logic or thought process goes through, and they just say we need to ban guns. When you say, okay, well, how do you keep the kids safe? By making sure that no guns ever go on campus again. They don't think it through. It's all emotion for them. Pro-gun people, logic and thought. It's just a fact. That's what I've seen. Now, the problem is that a lot of that anti-gun rhetoric and a lot of the anti-gun thinkers are who controls the schools, the school boards, and a lot of the cities and states across the country. So we have no presence of firearms in our schools. We have no way to defend our children. You know, teachers aren't allowed to carry. Nobody's allowed to be trained. There's no armed guard. There's no police presence. And you basically are putting your kids in school where it's a nice soft target where any gunman can walk in and they can do whatever harm to your kids that you know they want to do. And for me, that's terrifying. I'm a father of 3. I couldn't imagine if something like that happened. But I got this piece of armor in months ago, and I thought it was such a great idea, and I wanted to make a video, and I really feel kind of bad about procrastinating about it, but the idea is fantastic. This is a piece of armor from Defender Armor, and it is a piece of backpack armor. It's super lightweight. I think it's a pound or less, and this will stop multiple hits up to 44 Magnum, 357 SIG, and things of that nature. So for those campuses, for those even workspaces, so college, high school, grade school, your work, you know, anywhere where you're going to carry something that you can put this in, you can conceal body armor. And I thought, you know, it's such a good idea. It really is such a good idea. So when I was in high school, I would have my backpack, and I had my backpack with me all the time. You know, I would go from one class to the next class, I'd have my backpack with me. I would sit in class, I'd usually just take the straps and put it over the back of my chair, and I would sit down, I had my backpack with me. My backpack was always with me from the moment I left the house in the morning till I got home. And it pretty much works out the same for college students as well. So you always have your backpack with you, right? Well, in the case of a shooting where you have no choice but to be disarmed because of the environment that you're in, you at least have some way to protect yourself. It's like the most common sense thing that I've ever heard of, but you know what? In the past, companies hadn't really innovated. So this is a level 3A plate. It's been independently NIJ tested, again, to 44 Magnum. It weighs about a pound, and it completely disappears in backpacks. Now, the cool thing about this is my wife has actually been taking something like this with her to work every single day. She takes this with her to work. She either puts it under her keyboard, she puts it under her desk, whatever the case is, she puts it in her purse, and then she has basically a shield because where she works, she is pretty much the first point of contact as people come in. So if she sees somebody through the glass doors come in, it looks like they're armed, they're going to cause trouble. I mean, she can usually put this right up, and you might not be able to hear me very well, but she can put this right up against her face. If it's in her purse, she can hold it with a handle. If it's in a backpack, she can hold it out in front of her, and she can escape while having at least a shield, maybe in your vital organ area or your head, depending on what type of cover that you have. Now you can tell that this is a live video when you start getting texts. But nonetheless, this is such a good idea for you. If you have kids and you care that nobody's protecting them during the day, slide one of these in their backpack. So here I have, this is a Rothko backpack that I reviewed a while back. It's a great backpack. I've used it quite a bit. It's actually been all over the West Coast and part of the country with me, and it's always done really well. But the cool thing about a backpack like this is because this backpack was so well thought out, there's actually a bunch of straps and stuff inside. And this will work with like all of your Jan Sports backpacks as well. But I'm showing you this one for a particular reason. This one opens up all the way. And you can see on the back here, it has straps that are intended to hold, I mean, you could put anything, but I think it's pretty much the main intention is for computers and tablets, laptops, things of that nature. The cool thing about it is I can take this body armor and it fits right inside this backpack like this. So if you have a backpack with the body armor in it, you close up your backpack, it really doesn't add any weight to the backpack at all. You throw this on, And now I have level 3A body armor on my back for as long as I have my backpack with me. So it's just a really cool passive way to protect yourself, to protect your kids, to protect the ones you love. You know, my wife, she first felt a little bit paranoid when she bought or brought a plate to work. But I told her, you know, it's one of those things you'll probably never, ever, ever need to use it. But what if the time comes, disgruntled employee, or somebody's just angry? You know, I mean, there's a lot of crazy going on out there. And so having this is just insurance, you know? You take off your seatbelt when you go into work. This backpack is your seatbelt for when you're at work. You didn't put it on because you expect to get into an accident, but you have it with you just in case you do get into one, right? And so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today. It's a passive way to defend yourself when you enter these liberal shit zones. And that is the problem that we face a lot, especially in states like the state that I live in. You're pretty much exposed at all times once you leave the house. You know, most places you cannot conceal carry a firearm. You are completely defenseless. And you go into these different places, guess what? This armor can go with me anywhere. Nonetheless, a really cool way, and I just thought I would share this with you people who might be interested because it's not very expensive. These plates start around 150 bucks, so they're not as expensive as some of the other Defender armor plates that are out there that, you know, do run kind of higher end, because Defender armor is kind of a high-end manufacturer of body armor. This stuff is absolutely amazing. If you go to their website, you click on the video, you'll be able to watch their test on this stuff. They shoot it a bunch of times through a backpack. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. Defend yourself. Defend your family, make sure that everybody stays safe, and if you can, arm yourself. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, subscribe. Have a great day.